Amol, kindly make Paithankar sir a co-host.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yes.
So, on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. जी sir. So, a very good afternoon to one and all. Respected resource person for this afternoon session, Professor Dr. Makarand Paithankar sir has joined our cloud meeting. So on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome him and I would like to congratulate Professor Paithankar sir that recently he has joined Department of Public Policy, Law and Governance in Central University of Rajasthan. So on behalf of this entire group, I congratulate him on this new position. Dr. Paithankar sir has obtained his PhD in public administration and also has qualified for SET. Has obtained his MA degree from Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University way back in the year 1996. Uh, he has hold in charge principal from 2019 to 2024 in SB College, and during his tenure, the college has got A plus grade. He is also working in the same was working in the same college as a professor uh, way back in the year 2019 and also vice principal of the same project. He has completed research projects from UGC, ICSSR, ICPR, then Maharashtra State Commission for Women Mumbai. Also, Dr. Paithankar sir is also a recognized research guide, and many students have obtained their PhD, also have worked as an editorial board member of various research journals, has published 7 books and around 17 articles, and has delivered as an invited resource person in 32 workshop. He has delivered a talk and also has been recognized as an ideal teacher by Giants Group of Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar and Joint Secretary of Maharashtra Public Administration Association. And also he holds a membership of many professional bodies, as well as also he has hold various position in our university, Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada Institute. Like he has been academic council member of our university, then member on faculty, then member BOS, member faculty vice for API scrutiny, then member of BOS in Board of Studies, then custodian of DCAS, then worked as a chairman and member of paper setting vigilance squad, then worked as an external expert for PhD for SRTM University Nanded, and also have worked as a group discussion personal interview panel of MBA CET. So indeed, it is really a pleasure and honor for all of us to have him here as a resource person. So again, I welcome him. There are some network issues, so if there is any disconnectivity, kindly let us know. So I would now hand over the session to Dr. Makarand Paithankar, sir.
Because of nice introduction. Audible?
Yes, you are audible, but a little disturbance is there in the voice, sir.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Yes, yes, it is okay.
Thank you for nice words of introduction, dear friend Rafe sir. It has been always pleasure speaking in front of all the teaching fraternity in the malware training mission. Today, I will be speaking on national education policy, an introduction. Broadly, I will try to cover what national education policy is all about. In first part of my discussion, in first part of my lecture, I will try to explain hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Now
A
I
little
will.
bit voice is breaking in between.
Now I have shifted to some other connection. Let's
Okay.
see how it works.
Yes, yes.
Uh, So I will be introducing national education policy and discussion session where I will try to give of the questions from the participants. Um, anyway, thank you, Rafi sir, for inviting me. Friends, national is much debated as say from July 2020, we are discussing on various issues. Will the right five what and then education in a country where we adopted parliamentary democracy as a uh, part of governing system is a very crucial because this policy it set the tone of the uh, direction that government is to education policy or for that is education is a tutors of the government what is right to them in that field of the case explicitly spelled out in any policy. Hardly philosophical convictions of the government that are presented, and to realize this convictions of government then comes up with more legislation, with more to implement the policy spirit. We have come up with few of the things on this national education policy so far. He has played a vital role in development of independence. If we see the educational system and educational policies have profound effect on the whole area. Say from National Education Commission of 1966, which is popularly known as Kothari Commission or Kothari Committee. Am I audible? I am coming across some messages where
Yes,
there
yes,
is an
yes, sir.
issue
You're audible. You're audible.
with the education that we are following in education policy of 1986. Then it was a national policy reform 1992 and excuse me, and national education policy of 2020. The government of India constituted a 9-member committee under the chairmanship of Kasturi Rangan. And under his chairmanship, this committee was asked to formulate an educational policy for India. And the committee constituted some of the members who are from educational field. A few of them were vice chancellor, few were in educational administration. This committee rigorously worked for almost 33 months and they prepared an extensive draft. The draft was almost 400 pages, 405 to be precise, and presented it for a public opinion and suggestions. This committee tried to took input from all the stakeholders of education pan India. So on this 405 pages draft, various suggestions and opinions were gathered by the committee. Almost 2 lakh of the suggestions were considered. Opinion. So it was widely deliberated policy. With this, the edited draft was prepared, which was in brief, and it was submitted to the government of India. And the draft of National Education Policy 2020, as we all know, was accepted by the government of India in July 2020. My voice is breaking. Is there any disturbance?
Yes, sir. Disturbance is there. Voice is cutting a lot, sir.
Am I audible? But
Yes, you are audible. बीच बीच में ब्रेक हो रहा है सर, वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है सर.
ब्रेक हो रहा है. वो क्या कर पाओ. So the draft was accepted by India. Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
यस सर. सर जी, आपका वॉइस थोड़ा सा ब्रेक हो रहा है, बस एक थोड़े थोड़े इंटरवल.
तो क्या क्या करना है उसके
थोड़ा
लिए?
नेटवर्क का इश्यू है, बाकी आप कंटिन्यू करिए ना सर, कंटिन्यू करिए.
हाँ? This have adopted this national education policy, but there is a long way to go to realize the provisions that are introduced in this national education policy. Mm. Let's look at the salient features of national education policy. Basically, this policy, I believe, comes with certain salient features, of which the policy lays emphasis on the broad fundamental knowledge. This is the first feature that I this policy known for giving a learning centric approach. So earlier policies we have seen that student centrism, teacher centrism, and so on. But this is learning centric policy. So what is important in the educational transaction is the learning. Ultimately, all the processes and all the stakeholders are premised on learning. Hence, this policy lay emphasis on the of the major this in multiple multidisciplinary knowledge is all very, and lastly, this policy also emphasis motivate capital. Our the national education policy, there are two parts. One is school education and other part is higher education. National education in this policy is dealt with a different perspective. It is more the recruitment of a child to adulthood and it is not of education policy. It gives integrate the institution. So these are certain features of national education policy. As I have told you that the much stress of this higher education policy is on structural thing, on institutional thing, on systemic things. It speaks of changing the higher education governance in India. And as this is the major objective, the policy document also change at level institution will independent institution for which will be considered as apex education. It will be nicer potential research and research. So for it to be then there will be second national termed as Indian Institute of Translation and Interpret. The translation of knowledge created throughout India and to and invited even for translating also translating the material is being translated through areas working under Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation. Though the proper composition and the functions of institute is yet to be evolved, but still the work of translation started. The third important forum is a technology forum. So all national level entrance of higher education in India will be taken care of by this independent body, which will be known as NATEC. They will, after everything, even they will also consider the will look after all the technology needs of education. And fourth important working, and it is known. It will be known by Higher Education Commission of India. So now I will restrict my share. Some councils working, and under this council, whole governance in India. We have a UGC wherein all the specialized areas of education are centralized. For example, we can categorize the educational transaction into 4 to 5 areas. Regulation is one of the important thing in educational management. Accreditation is important area. Grants is important thing. Quality. This 4 grants were estimates. All this are so far being taken care by UGC. Hence, we categorize functions of the education are taken care of. All these functions are central. If you go to UGC used to work in a bureaucratic fashion. It was just like a bigger collector office area, outside martialized area, UGC. So this was a highly centralized bureaucratic sort of UGC. And when I say a bureaucratic sort of composition and functioning of UGC, I mean that all dysfunctional aspects of bureaucracy, right, like red tape, like solutions where of completely overhauling this institutional related henceforth under Higher Education Commission. Will count will look and they will be particular aspect of it. So these 4 councils that will work under Higher Education Commission, there will be national higher education related council will three this giving permission of students achieve it will decide on the day or three aspire council will after creation collab of education. This will become of the higher education material. After the council. Now we have when we speak of only accrediting body, I will speak on this the part of my they have National Accreditation Council will be there. Still, we have not come across any document which explicitly speaks about how the composition of this NAC will be. But there will be a National Accreditation Council which will look after the accreditation needs of the higher education institutions. The third independent council will be Higher Education Grants Council, which will look after grants, which will provide grants. The approving grants to the institutional grants, individual grants, grants type of grants will be taken care of by this National Council. And the fourth important council will be education. Speaks of the quality eligibility of teacher, what will be the eligibility of different types of professors, what will be the qualifying requirements, what will be the how the performance based academic redressal system will work, and all these things will be taken care of by General Education Council. Means what time a faculty will have to devote for a research activity, for other activities, everything will be decided by this General Education Council. So in short, these four new councils will work as an independent entity, having a specialized function to perform. Regulatory activities of the higher education, accreditation, look after the accreditation, grants council look after the financial to higher education. So independent of each other, they will in a professional manner, and there will concentration or centralization of at an apex level, as the nomenclature it is suggesting that within this council will committee system. That's what is the nomenclature of the four distinctly created entities which will work under Higher Education Commission of India. Now, this will be the structure. This will be the structural changes that national education policy is looking forward to bring in. Now, as I have told you, that policy is just a philosophical mere statement. It is a roadmap. It is just it gives just a road want to move which direction it will lead. Like this objective policy needs certain pieces of legislation. For example, if we want to create this, will be required is to bring legislation which we are GC in times to come. How but to realize or create, they'll link in detail about the about on this for now, education, in order extensive analysis of the higher after analyzing this committee for creating this, preparing this national education policy, certain limit, certain problems of education. They were clearly mentioned in the document itself. Now we'll what fitting her education by this national education policy. The first problem or NP higher education council higher is severely fragmented. It is fragmented. This system that we are having. So, that we कौशल्य जो होते हैं तो cognitives are academics. Cognitives, there is a less emphasis on development of cognitive skills, and this we have made a separation, really specialization, and streaming of students into a narrow area study. Rather early the +2 level only, we are giving them a highly specialized area, super specialized type of subject by introducing a multidisciplinary core without particular applied based if are in creating very good work or will knowledge by it. So ultimately prepares a student to apply the fundamental and bring new application. Applied based knowledge is then, if sought, will be of great help. So receptive is a limitation. We all know that the whole organization knowledge to find and student will not, which has been drawn in the system is a main place. No possibility available for the student to choose from a wide range of nature of disciplines included. The opposite of the limitation. After 70 years, written in 30 years, there are few. There are very few that which is students will be comfortable to understand. So, limited access, particularly in socially and economically disadvantaged areas of India, and the availability of higher education institutions that teach in local languages. This is also a limitation which has been identified. We are speaking of autonomy, but there is a limited teacher and institutional autonomy because years under the affiliated pattern of education. Where something is designed, something is formulated, and the teachers and the institution has to follow, be it be curriculum, the pattern of evaluation, the programs that are designed, and this will initiative by independent. This area was also highlighted as a limitation or as again, there is an inadequate mechanism for merit-based career management and progression of faculty and institutional leaders. There is takes a fast track career progression for emerging newly recruited, talented, professionally competent even. So comes in field will have to follow a structured career management and progression system. So there is no flexibility in it. There is no mechanism to recognize merit-based career progression. And this is also one of the major limitation which hinders, which don't allow the bright of the people coming in teaching profession. So this is also one of the limitation which has been highlighted by this national education policy. In universities and colleges, basically just level, the emphasis is very little on research, and there is no peer-reviewed research funding across the discipline. Only there are few schemes available for to pursue research, and that too, the schemes are very limited for faculties who are from social science or commerce background or humanities background. DST provides some additional things to teachers belonging to the science field. AICT is there to provide something for faculty who are in engineering area and management area and so on. But still, there is a lack of research funding across the discipline. This has been identified by the national education policy. Then the governance and leadership of higher education institution is suboptimal. They are not optimally utilized. The governance, the leaders who are at the helm of higher education institutions are rather close to the management people who not have the administrative acumen to govern higher education in India. They may be leaders, but what higher education in India needs academic leadership. So this is also at the suboptimum level. It is not best. It is not optimally utilized. The governance and leadership in higher education institutions in India is also one of the problem of higher education in India. Then the last two things which are identified as a problem by this policy is they are related with each other rather. First is the ineffective regulatory system, and second is the large affiliating universities resulting in low standards of undergraduate education. Look, when universities came into being, they were given 40, 50 colleges within a jurisdiction of university. But with time, these numbers increased phenomenally. Now, normally, one single state affiliating university has almost 350 to 450 achieved within that university. Load, it is taking the toll of university, and most of the human resource of university has to deal with the university. So there is a little scope for higher education government to look at academic. And with such a huge number, whatever regulation this university is keeping on the affiliated institution is very ineffective, because it is out of their span of control. And this is the major problem. Affiliating universities is the major problem of higher education in India. Friends, these are certain limitations which were brought in front, were presented in this national education policy. And to overcome these limitations and overcome this and this presentation was all about the institutional fragmentation. The suggestions given for overcoming this problem in Indian education system is of institutional integration by this NEP. So this NEP speaks of institutional integration with large multidisciplinary universities and colleges with 3,000 and more students. There will be no colleges and institutions where the student strength will be less. Suggested revamping the curriculum, the pedagogy, and the assessment. Third thing, to bring in multidisciplinary undergraduate education, bring in academic flexibility and mobility. Fourth, universities and colleges with at least one in or near every district with medium of instruction of local or Indian language should be there. Is at least one university or colleges is to be set up in every district or nearby district with the local medium of instruction available for students. Student support, scholarships for socially, economically disadvantaged groups, accessible infrastructure and learning materials to learners with disability, online education, and open distance learning, ODL. So emphasis should be given for this. Then this NEP also speaks of moving towards faculty and institutional autonomy. And it has been made very clear in the document itself, the autonomy will be academic and administrative. NEP doesn't speak of providing financial autonomy. It has been clearly mentioned that the institutional and faculty autonomy, the nature of this autonomy will be academic and administrative. Merit-based appointments and career progression based on teaching, research, and service will be there. Then For research funding, there will be a National Research Funding Council, as I have earlier mentioned, which will fund the peer-reviewed research and actively provide seed money for research in universities and colleges. So financial assistance for research will be taken care of by this National Research Foundation. And there will be now a new pattern of governance of higher education institutions by a highly qualified independent boards and councils like NHERC, HEGC, NAC, and GEC, which I have explained to you. There will be a single regulator. There will henceforth will not be having different regulator at different levels. The regulatory work will be undertaken by NHERC. The phrase used for this regulation in NEP is the regulation henceforth will be light but tight. It will not be it will not do. It will NEP is it will change the whole scenario, the whole canvas of higher education. This policy speaks of ending or phasing out of affiliation pattern and single stream higher education institutions. Henceforth, universities will not affiliate college. Universities will be only universities. And the higher education institutions which are only providing programs under a single stream or single faculty colleges like science colleges and commerce colleges and only arts college, such type of single faculty, single stream higher education institutions will be phased out. So by 2030, we will see that there will be no affiliated institution, neither there will be any single stream colleges. What we will see will be independent degree awarding higher education institutions and a multidisciplinary higher education institutions. This will only exist, other will wither away, they will be phased out. Now I will speak on the institutional restructuring and consolidation. There will be multidisciplinary universities, colleges, and higher education institutions, clusters or knowledge hubs, which will provide education to 3,000 and more students. Now, what is it will be all about? Let me go into detail. Henceforth, there will be universities and colleges which will be offering multidisciplinary programs. Science only, arts only, commerce only, HEIs will no longer exist. Now, what will happen to this, which are already into it? So, after NEP, government has come out with a draft which speaks of how this institutional integration will take place. The colleges, the institutions who are not having student strength of 3,000 will have to merge themselves into a cluster. 2 to 3 colleges should have to come together and will have to form a cluster. So going into a cluster will be one option. Second, if the separate discipline institutions are governed by the same management, they may think of consolidating this independent colleges and institution into a single institution with multidisciplinary programs. So this will be a sort of integration. This will be a sort of coming together under the same management. It will be a merging of two institutions into one big institution under the same management. So if not this, the second option is just cluster. So how the cluster will work? The draft comes up with the steps that will be involved in cluster. First, if the college is of single faculty, if the college is having a student strength of less than 3,000, then such type of colleges in the vicinity will come together. In the first phase, they will come together and form a cluster. 2 colleges, 3 colleges coming together will create a cluster. They will give a name to that cluster. In this first place, the university as is giving affiliation will continue to affiliate such cluster colleges independently. So 3 institutions coming together will get affiliation of the university independently in first phase, but they will be the part of cluster. So in first place, the cluster institutions will get a separate independent affiliation by the university. In the second phase, now instead of affiliating the independent partners within a cluster, instead of affiliating the independent institutions within a cluster, excuse me, I repeat, instead of affiliating the independent institution within a cluster, university in the second phase will keep on giving affiliation to the cluster, not to the institution. In first phase, it will be to the independent members who are part of the cluster will get affiliation. In second phase, the cluster will get the affiliation. These 3 institutions coming together will not get. The name of that cluster will get the affiliation in the second phase. In the third phase, there will be no affiliation. Either this cluster will have to convert itself into autonomous degree awarding colleges, as they have been called as autonomous colleges in this NEP draft. They will be termed as autonomous degree awarding colleges who will get no affiliation. They will become an independent entity to award degrees for their programs to their students. So this may be in the third phase. And in fourth phase, if the autonomous degree awarding colleges wants to convert themselves into university, they will do so. So in first phase, institutions will come together, form a cluster. The institutions coming within a cluster will get independent affiliation. In the second phase, the cluster will get the affiliation. In the first phase, there will be no affiliation. Autonomous degree awarding colleges will start awarding degree by their own name independently. And in the fourth phase, if the autonomous degree awarding colleges wishes to convert itself into a university, they will be free to convert themselves into a university or can stay as an autonomous degree awarding colleges. So this will be the restructuring of the institutions. This will be a sort of merging of the institutions. This will be of a integrating the fragmented education. There is a single faculty college with only one division catering to 80 students, and it is termed as a higher education institution. This will no longer work. So this fragmented entities, institutions within higher education scenario of India needs to get consolidated, and this consolidation will be a big consolidation. Under this consolidation, what will happen? That only higher education institutions having more than 3,000 student strength will they will remain as an independent institution. Second, only multidisciplinary institutions will remain, multidisciplinary institution with 3,000 plus student strength will remain independent institutions. And if not, they will have to merge, they will have to form a cluster, they will have to become big. So this will be more of the mergers and amalgamations taking place in India. So higher education institutions will like this. So this is about the consolidation, the restructuring of the institution. No big university will come, no big university will be created. It will be converted, it will be restructured, it will be consolidated from amongst the fragmented HEIs that exist in India. The second major aspect of this institutional structure, restructuring and consolidation is about having a simple nomenclature to higher education institutions. Now, you know, we have various types of colleges. It means that for every typology of higher education institutions, there is a separate law governing it. It means they have to be regulated as per that particular law. Let me simplify. Affiliated colleges will be having a separate legal framework. Private colleges will be having different. Autonomous colleges will be having different. So they will be governed by their separate legal framework. And for regulation, the regulatory norms and the regulatory laws that exist today are so complex and complicated and enormous that it needs to be simplified. And hence, the typology of higher education institutions also needs to be revisited. And this policy speaks of only two nomenclature that will exist in higher education. And there will be only autonomous colleges, no other nomenclature. Now, what nomenclature we have? For example, take the example of colleges. We have government colleges, we have government aided colleges, we have private colleges, we have autonomous colleges, we have the constituent colleges. Number of colleges we are having. Same is with university. We have university, we have state universities, central universities, we have deemed universities, private universities, deemed to be universities, and so on. So this every typology of HEI which exists today will no longer exist and will be simplified as universities and autonomous colleges. There will be only two types of HEI. Will be degree awarding autonomous colleges. Furthermore, identifying universities. The universities which are research intensive and will be universities which teach in. This does not mean only undertake research, there will be no teaching. This does not mean. Research intensive university means the substantial part of workload of this university will address research. There will be teaching also. The evaluation of research intensive research grant. So the evaluation, the assessment of universities which will be research intensive be based is predominantly teaching, there will be no, there will be research devoted. So they will be evaluated based on the teaching parameters. So these two subtypes will be there. That's all. So in this institutional restructuring and consolidation, there will be an autonomous colleges. Both will be multi. Henceforth, the single stream colleges, institutions will be phased out with a timeline. By 2030, it will be done. So there will be a multidisciplinary, multi-faculty colleges and with a minimum student strength of 3,000. Those who are having single faculty, if they don't want to merge with any other institution, or there is no college, but they are catering to 3,000 and more students with a single stream, can start new streams and new programs from various other and become. So the target given in the national education policy, this is also one of the feature of this national education policy, that whatever is mentioned, whatever suggestion is given, and it has come up with a timeline. There is a timeline. So by 20 institution disciplinary, and with large enrollments, be at 20 should become multidisciplinary. By one more interesting feature, I don't think that how far it will be achieved. It is I'm doubtful about it. But the GER of 2020, that is the ratio was 26% enrollment ratio. In 2020, and this speaks of doubling this GER by the aims at making the GER 50% in 2035. Look, almost we took 70 years to reach 26% level. And after that, this policy is aiming of doubling it within 15 years. What we have to double it within 15 years. Let's see how far it is possible. What the budgetary allocation since last 4 years, looking at given the financial assistance, the support given to institute 4 years, I don't believe that this 26 will, let's see. Then, as I have told you, single stream higher education institution will be phased out over time. Higher education is towards full autonomy, academic and administrative. Again, it is clearly mentioned. Full autonomy means academic and administrative. Whatever aided positions are sanctioned to an institution like that, I mean like that. System of affiliated by 2035. Timeline will be no affiliating universities, will be colleges after 15 years. That is 2035. And university will remain a simple nomenclature, and that will be the only nomenclature. A university will be university. There will be one rule book to the university. That's it. No other rule, no other sort. The restructuring and consolidating. Now, this policy also speaks of holistic and multidisciplinary education. It quotes knowledge of many arts must be brought back to Kadambari, where 64 color mentioned were taught the 70, but scientifics were taught. Educational was there. Soft skill like communication curriculum. So this type of education is to be made available for the student, and you might have come across all the new curriculum framework wherein the various aspect of this are mentioned. You have to allot certain amount of credit for like knowledge is like core multidisciplinary, something which can be a minor component. That's how the whole learning is taking place throughout India in various affiliating universities. This policy also with STEM. What is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? As for science, for and mathematics. In order to quantitatively enrich to be the education of humanity that we see in arts with the technology, the other scholarship fellowships are floated, which years to come we will also come up with the of science within a code structure. The environment in shape we incorporate in the and this which yes, then stuff the PG will be 2 years and will be of UD with research. Even there will be rated by just program for here and will make a student eligible take this certain changes which are mentioned in this policy is important. Then academic bank of credit is also a very important thing that is happening to buy a student from very higher thousands of students have been referred on academic, but allowed without opening an account on academic bank of credit. And I suppose almost 100% of the student registered in Dr. Bamu have their account on academic bank of credit. This is almost in all the universities, and this number and this response to this is phenomenal. And this academic bank of credit will be a thing which the whole world will look to India. So this is presently on a digital platform, academic bank of in this institute also registered themselves and credit. BSc has done it, ICSE has done it. Even plus two level institutions in education have also adopted the academic. Then Meru. In this Meru, this is and research. There will be some establishment research multidisciplinary education and about policy. That's your is this international of international policy also not support facility on campus to operate in India. This framework be to India will research student exchange program. These are areas which are addressed in national office. This policy also speaks and how much time I have? Professor, is he there? Will there be any break? Or shall I continue?
सर
Hello?
हाँ जी सर बोलिए
Should I continue or there will be a break of 5 minutes?
सर ब्रेक ले सकते हैं आप लीजिए
Okay, thank you. Within 5 minutes, we will join.
ओके सर
Hello? Hello? Hello?
जी सर।
Please let me know when to start. मुझे बताइए आप कब शुरू करना है.
सर आपका ब्रेक हुआ तो आप कर सकते हैं सर. हम्म?
Now in this
सर आपका वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है. सर.
second half. Hello? Hello?
हाँ सर, अभी आ रहा है आवाज क्लियर.
अभी आ रहा है. ठीक है, ठीक है. थोड़ा रिमोट एरिया है ना, इसीलिए थोड़ा इशू है, और बिल्डिंग भी पुरानी है हमारी.
अच्छा अच्छा.
हाँ.
आप स्टार्ट कीजिए सर.
Yes. In this half, I think I will try to cover a few points which are remaining of national education policy. Then we will have a discussion if you wish. Uh, this policy also speaks of learning environment and the faculty. This policy also speaks of promoting creativity, innovations, autonomy in curriculum, uh, uh,
सर आपकी आवाज नहीं सुनाई दे रही.
हेलो.
जी सर. हाँ.
हेलो. हाँ.
हाँ अभी आ रही है.
हाँ. ठीक है. One interesting suggestion given in this policy is regarding faculty. This policy entity once appointed in an institution will not be transferable across the various institutions of management. This is that wherever a faculty is appointed is going to same place.
सर.
Much of it for hello.
सर आपका आवाज वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है पूरा.
हेलो.
जी सर.
आ रहा है क्या? अभी आ रहा है?
हाँ हाँ अभी आ रहा है.
हाँ. ठीक है. The faculty will not think of that somehow somewhere in their mind that they will be transferred. This fear of transfer will not be there amongst the faculty, because once appointed in an institution will not be transferable if this is one of the suggestion given by this NEP comes true. Then faculty must get freedom to design their own curricular and pedagogical approaches is also a suggestion. The current recruitment process will be continued. There will be a multiple parameter based tenure track appointments. And there will also be a fast track promotion system, which will be evolved in years to come. This is about the learning environment and faculty. Very important suggestions are given with regard to the teacher education in this national education policy. Rather, I have not come across any policy where judgment is cited and certain corrective measures are suggested. Justice J.S. Verma Commission was appointed in year 2012. This commission was constituted by the Supreme Court of India. And this commission dealt with the cases with regard to the teacher education in India. That is B.Ed and M.Ed colleges, which offer B.Ed and M.Ed degree, teacher education college. Simply, they are also called as education colleges or education institutions. And this commission came up with a very disturbing remark that the majority of stand-alone teacher education institutions in India, which runs over 10,000 in numbers, are selling degrees for a price. To put it simply, this commission mentioned that teacher education in India institutes or B.Ed colleges, B.Ed institution, M.Ed institutions in India, more than 10,000 of such institutions are selling degree for a price. This is mentioned in NEP, which was cited from Justice J.S. Verma Commission. And NEP also suggests drastic changes in teacher education in India. It speaks of converting B.Ed colleges or education colleges into multidisciplinary universities and colleges. Henceforth, there will be no stand-alone separate education colleges, separate B.Ed colleges, to put it simply. All the B.Ed colleges or the education colleges, all the teacher education colleges in India will have to convert themselves into multidisciplinary universities or colleges. And the other colleges can also start establishing education departments and teacher education institutes within them. So, henceforth, education will be a component of multidisciplinary education. They will either be with the general conventional colleges, or they will convert into and start offering courses and programs addressing multidisciplinary areas. After 2030, the basic qualification for teacher is also spelled out in this policy. This policy says that the basic qualification that will be required to become a teacher after 2030 will be a 4-year integrated B.Ed course, or a 2-year B.Ed for students who have completed 3-year UG education, or a 1-year B.Ed course for students who have completed. So this 3 type of qualification are considered compulsory qualifications, will be considered as compulsory qualification after 2030. This policy also speaks of national mission for mentoring, wherein the retired teachers will be roped in and will be given positions of mentors as a teachers. And much is yet to be seen in this area. What is to be, what will happen in this mentoring things. But this policy speaks of national mission for mentoring, wherein the retired teachers will be roped in to render their services of teaching. This is about teacher education. And now I will be entering into the last phase of national education policy, which personally I liked most. And it is regarding vocational education in India. Friends, we have seen that various attempts has been made in India to promote vocational education, to promote technical education. But vocational education since 60s has been miserably failed, irrespective of the various efforts that has been taken by the successive governments. This policy comes up with integrating the vocational education into conventional education at all the levels of education. This policy speaks of reimagining the vocational education. It comes up with certain basic statistics, which is very disturbing to us. This policy says that 52% of the education that is provided in United States is of vocational nature. 75% of the higher education that is provided in Germany is having vocational component. This is 96% in South Korea. Look, the component, the vocational, the nature of education that is provided, the percentage of vocation in it, it is 96% vocational education. Of the higher education, 96% is vocational education in South Korea. 75% is in Germany. 52% is in US. And very disturbingly, it is less than 5% in India. Only degree. Skills, no skills. What you can do? Nothing. Can you work on Excel? No. Having PhD, postdoctoral, cannot work on Excel. No soft skills. No other skill. So the quality of education is deteriorating. Hence the vocationalizing of education is sort of. So there is why this has happened in India, why vocational education has failed miserably. So analyzing the factors for the failure of vocational education in India, the national education policy comes up with certain points. They believe that there is a lack of vertical mobility in vocational education after 12th. Till 12th, there are ITIs, there are polytechnics, but after 12th, vocational component is not available. Till 8th, 10th, there is certain amount of technical education provided, but it is very meager. It is of no use. So there is no vertical mobility in vocational education. Second, vocational education in India is perceived as inferior to mainstream education. Arey, why you have taken admission to ITI? This is the general comment. So it is considered as inferior. Why you are not pursuing 11th and 12th? Why you have taken admission to ITI? This is a normal comment of a normal Indian. So vocational education is perceived as inferior to mainstream education. Again, a social status hierarchy issues are involved. Conventional education is considered better than the vocational education. Within the conventional education also, engineering tops, medical tops, then after medical engineering, then science, then commerce. कॉमर्स में भी कुछ नहीं कर पाया इसीलिए जाओ आप आर्ट्स में. आर्ट्स में भी कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे तो जाइए आप ITI करिए, छोटा मोटा कोर्स कर कीजिए. This is how hierarchical issues are there. Social status is attached to this vocational education. It is not viewed with respect. And this was the problem. Vocational education did not took pace in India. This policy comes up with a suggestion which will overcome all these limitations of vocational education, all these problems of vocational education in India. Henceforth, this policy says there will be no separate vocational education. The vocational component of education will be integrated in the mainstream education. So if you had come across the curriculum framed under NEP, you will come to know that there is a VEC, vocational education course, which has been made compulsory component in mainstream education. Whatever education, whatever domain of area a student is pursuing his course, may it be science, may it be arts, may it be commerce, whatever. The vocational component of education is very much part of the curriculum framework that is designed under NEP curriculums. So this seamless integration of vocational education in mainstream education will improve the employability of the students after taking their UG and PG degrees. It will give them certain skills on which they can monetize. So this will help. So this is a seamless integration, and this starts from 7th level and it goes up to the PhD level. From schooling to higher education, that is doctoral level, student will have to successfully complete a certain course, a component in their conventional education, which will be of vocational nature. So this is, I believe, is a seamless integration of vocational education into our traditional conventional education that we are offering. We are converting the nature of traditional conventional education by including a vocational component in it and making it more holistic, more comprehensive, addressing all requirements of education that needs to be provided by any educational system. This policy believes that by 2025, at least 50% of the learners through the school and higher education system must get an exposure to vocational education. And for this, National Skill Qualification Framework, NSQF, will detail the discipline, vocation, and profession. So discipline specific vocation and profession will be in detailed will be detailed provided by National Skill Qualification Framework. And this National Skill Qualification Framework in higher education area will work with National Higher Education Skill Qualification Framework. So taking inputs from National Skill Qualification Framework, National Higher Education Skill Qualification Framework will integrate the vocational and professional components of education into the conventional education, conventional curriculums that we are offering under various programs of BA, BSc, BCom, and so on. So NEP-based curriculum will be more comprehensive and holistic in nature, which will address all the needs of education. This is all about national education policy. I think national education policy is, particularly this national education policy, is truly national because it has not come, it is not thrusted from above to down. It has evolved from bottom level, and then it is crystallized, refined, and briefly edited to be presented in the present form that we have got as a national education policy accepted in July 2020. It is national in the sense that more than 2 lakh suggestions were evaluated, were considered, were analyzed at the time of framing of these policies. Various associations, various teachers associations, parents, students, stakeholders, employers, industrialists were consulted. Meetings were held. Suggestions were drawn. And after such a rigorous exercise, this policy has evolved. Thirdly, it is truly national in the sense that special Gram Sabhas were organized to discuss on the draft of this policy, and asked for provide suggestions on this policy to make this national education policy a people's policy from grassroots level. That's why I believe that this national education policy is truly national in the sense. And if we go by the recent yardsticks of judging a thing, this policy has, I have not seen a substantial level of criticism on the national education policy. There may be certain apprehensions of various groups and various across the ideologies, but by and large, there is no much hue and cry or criticism on this national education policy. This itself speaks of the work, the exercise that has been taken at the time of formulating the policy. Because in a country like ours, where there is a parliamentary democracy which is very vibrant, which is very dynamic, a policy coming up with not much hue and cry, not much criticism, has been accepted widely in rank and file throughout, is the success and will be a success of this national education policy, I believe. But ultimately, whatever policy we will get, the successful achievement of the targets will depend on the major stakeholders. And it will be the teachers which will make this policy work. So teachers' acceptance, teachers' role in accepting, in understanding, and implementing the spirit and letter, this policy is very important. I think it was pleasure to speak in front of you about national education policy. I will stop here. You have any questions? I will try to address. I will try to answer the questions briefly. Yes, now this lecture is open for questions. If you have any questions, just unmute yourself and ask the questions. I also regret for a break in voice because I have seen various messages that I was not audible. Friends, I am sitting in a central university, which is Central University of Rajasthan, but it is on a national highway number 8, which is in a remote area, which is known as Bandar Sindri. It is on Ajmer Jaipur road. There is certain lags in the connectivity. There are certain connectivity issues. Still, we have Geo network and BSNL networks and system installed in the university. But still, there are certain geographical limitations. I regret the inconvenience caused to you. My voice was not audible to many of you. It was a breaking, humming noise coming in. I regret for it. Thank you. Yes, questions are welcome. Yes, someone who will be unmute, who will mute participants. Some are raising hands. 83 number has raised the hand. Yes, you may ask question. Who is moderating this? Host UGC. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, I have given the permission now that they can unmute themselves. But I
Yes,
think
yes.
that 83 roll number you can ask now.
Yes, yes, yes.
A very good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. You are audible. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for today's session. It was really very informative. I don't have any question as such, but my point is when you started or you initiated the lecture at the commencement of the session, your voice was breaking a lot. So can you just in a very few words just elaborate what you were trying to teach in your initial lecture? Because it wasn't audible, so I
Oh, yes,
assume
sure.
informative.
Got it. Basically,
Thank
initially I started, am I audible now?
पैठनकर सर जो शुरू का जो अपना इंट्रोडक्टरी पार्ट जो है बस वही उनको सुनने को ऐसा वो
हाँ,
होना
हाँ,
इंट्रोडक्टरी जी जी
हाँ, समझ में ऑडिबल
जी 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 सर
नाउ? अब अभी सुन पा रहे हो आप मुझे?
Yes, sir.
हाँ. Yes. I started my lecture with a brief introduction to set by acknowledging the work that all the predecessors of of national education policy has all these years undertook. They have taken lots of pain by initiating certain reforms, taking education in India up to this level. So I started with acknowledging the works of Kothari Commission, National Education Commission 1966, National Education Policy of 1986, National Education Policy Reforms of 1992. And I believe that the works and the policy of all the predecessors has a profound impact and effect on the post-independence education system that we are having today. Without their contribution, we would not have been here. So by acknowledging their works. I have not gone into detail of the Kothari Commission, but 10 plus 2 plus 3 was a classical thing that the Kothari Committee has brought in. Certain features, the introduction of ICT in 1992 by National Education Policy Reforms, are certain area which will go a long way in addressing, in identifying, in acknowledging their contribution. That's what I believe. And I started with the note that the Kasturi Rangan committee was constituted under the chairmanship and 9 members were there. This committee rigorously worked for 33 months to prepare a draft. And these 9 members were, most of them were VC, most of them were, other of the members were from higher education administration and having exposure to the higher education scenario of India with a lot of experience on higher education area of more than 25-30 years of experience. And with this I started. And then I explained certain salient features. I believe that all the educational policy that we had, some were student-centric, some were teacher-centric. But what is important and what was missing all this year was we want a policy which should be learning-centric. Whoever will be at receiving end, may it be teacher, may it be student. But the transaction in education that is taken, that is undertaken only for one cause, and that is learning. So what is important in education is learning, and all the policies should address the learning. Learning should be focused, and I believe that this is a very important salient feature. This education policy is learning centric. It neither looks at the interest of the teacher nor of the student. It purely addresses the learning. The focus is on learning. It is a learning centric approach. This, I believe, is a very important feature of this national education policy. And then I explained higher education governance. This higher education governance, there will be 4 apex bodies of higher education governance, which will now directly work under higher education ministry. This under higher education ministry, there will be a National Research Foundation. There will be Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretations. There will be a National Education Technology Forum, and there will be Higher Education Commission of India. And within this Higher Education Commission of India, there will be 4 councils. I think you have catched up after this. I think you have captured after this.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. It was indeed an informative lecture, and we have learned a lot from you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Yes, anyone else?
Hello.
Hello,
Hello,
Yes, I think Dr. Rupendra Kumar or 16. Anyone of you? Yes, Dr. Rupendra Kumar, you go ahead. First, Dr. Rupendra Kumar, you go ahead. Then number 16 will speak.
आपका गाड़ी
हाँ सर, go ahead. Yes, Dr. Rupendra Kumar. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Number 16. Yes, go ahead.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. Myself, Mr. Pankaj Narayana. I am working in Teachers Education College. So I want to know about how the Teachers Education College will work as multidisciplinary college, multidisciplinary education courses. What you have told you.
Look, we have a separate teacher education colleges in Maharashtra particularly. You are from Barshin, no, sir?
Yeah. Yes, sir. I'm from Maharashtra.
So we have B.Ed colleges in Maharashtra, which only offers B.Ed degrees, or degrees in education.
Yeah.
We have separate physics. Fourth, there will be no separate single discipline college. B.Ed colleges will have to start BA, BSc or BCom programs within their colleges.
Okay.
They will have to create departments. They will have to become multidisciplinary. They can start 4 years integrated B.Ed. They can start 5-year integrated B.Ed with BA plus B.Ed, with MA plus B.Ed, M.Ed, and so on. It is up to the management and up to the institution what to offer. But the underlying point is that there will be no stand-alone education colleges. Education colleges will have to start either new departments or merge with other multidisciplinary institutions. If your management is running a separate arts, commerce, science college, you can integrate yourself under the same management and you can start offering B.Ed, BA, BCom, MCom, BSc courses within the same management. Or if your management is not having a separate other colleges, this is the only one, then you can start your own faculties, you can offer your own programs, or you can become a part of cluster. These are the options available. There will be no other option.
Okay, okay. But this is about education. What about physical education then?
Same is with physical education.
It will be okay. It will be same.
Okay. It is called as teacher education in India.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Hello. Should I ask one more?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. How the staff will be merged then? If teachers education college is collaborating with education or regular colleges, then how will be the staff merged?
No, staff will remain same. Staffing pattern will remain same.
Okay.
There will be no merger as such.
Okay.
There will be just you two colleges are working in collaboration. It will be a collaborative effort.
Okay.
I have explained to you in the first phase, if you become a part of a cluster, in the first place, for example, Barshi College and a surrounding college in your area, you will form a cluster. Then these three colleges will get affiliation, annual affiliation as we get from the university regularly. You will continue to get affiliation for your own college in the first phase, though you are a part of cluster. In the second phase, if you have given a name to your cluster as Barshi Education Society, this cluster by this name will get the affiliation. You will not get affiliation with the name of your college. The name of the cluster will get the affiliation in the second phase. In the third phase, there will be de-affiliation. There will be no affiliation required. You will start providing degree and you will run your institution, your cluster autonomously. The model of Namas.
Hello, sir. Yeah, I got it, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. I got it.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes. एक मराठी मेसेज आलाय. हॅलो, एम आय ऑडिबल?
येस सर.
हॅलो, येतोय माझा आवाज? येतोय?
हो,
माझा आवाज येतोय?
येतोय.
हा, एक मेसेज आलाय शेनमारे सरांचा. ते म्हणतात सॉफ्ट स्किल्स, कौशल्य विकास, भारतीय ज्ञान संसाधन ह्यासारखे महत्वपूर्ण विषय NEP मध्ये अंतर्भूत तर झाले आहेत, पण ग्रेड असाइनमेंटच्या स्वरूपात आहे. त्यामुळे त्याचे पाहिजे तसे सकारात्मक परिणाम मिळत नाही. त्यावर काही उपाययोजना असतील तर सांगा सर. आता ह्याच्यावर मी काय उपाययोजना सांगणार सर? आपण काय केलंय बघा, आपण जेव्हा ते क्रेडिट आलते, जेव्हा NEPच्या आधी आपण जी CBCS सिस्टीम आणली होती ना, त्याच्यामध्येही आपण आपला जुना जो सिलेबस होता तोच ब्रेक केला आणि त्याला कन्वर्ट केलं त्या तासिकेमधनं CBCS मध्ये, CBCS मधनं आता कन्वर्ट केलं NEP मध्ये. जोपर्यंत आपण इंडिपेंडंटली बसून व्यवस्थित विचार करून सिलेबस करिक्युलम फॉर्म्युलेशन गांभीर्याने करत नाही, तोपर्यंत आपण जे व्होकेशनल म्हणून देणार आहोत ते खरंच व्होकेशनल स्वरूपाचं आहे की नाही हे आपल्याला कळणार नाही. जे प्रोफेशनल म्हणून देणार आहोत ते खरंच प्रोफेशनलच्या स्वरूपाचं आहे का? प्रोफेशनल कशाला म्हणायचं, व्होकेशनल कशाला म्हणायचं, याचा गांभीर्याने विचार करून अभ्यास करून जर हे
एक्झाम्पल कमी घेतले तर होते.
हॅलो
पण मग प्रॅक्टिस नाही होत परत.
हॅलो हॅलो, येतोय आवाज? येतोय माझा?
हो येतोय सर.
हा, तर हे जर गांभीर्याने हे केलं नाही ना तर त्याचं ते स्पिरिट आणि लेटर येणार नाही. म्हणून मी शेवट करताना माझ्या व्याख्यानाचा हेच म्हणलं की अल्टिमेटली कुठली हे धोरण जर अंमलात आणायचं असेल आणि ते धोरण यशस्वी करायचं असेल तर त्याची धुरा ही शिक्षकांनाच घ्यावी लागेल. कारण आपण जर प्रामाणिकपणे हे सगळं केलं नाही ना तर ते शक्य होणार नाही. मी अजून सांगतो, जेव्हा ऑटोनॉमस होईल तेव्हा आपल्याला स्वातंत्र्य असेल, आपण आपले स्वतःचे अभ्यासक्रम बनवू, आपण त्याचं गांभीर्याने जे लागणार आहे ते हे सगळा विचार करून आपण करू, तो फार आनंददायी अनुभव असेल. पण आपले प्रॉब्लेम्स अनेक आहेत ना आता, म्हणजे काय बोलणार. ऍफिलिएटेड पॅटर्न मध्ये फार खूप समस्या आहेत. कारण काय की अनेकांना निवडून येता येतं पण सिलेबस करता येत नाही, आणि सिलेबस करता येणाऱ्यांना निवडून येता येत नाही. ही तर शोकांती काय आपली.
सर नमस्कार सर.
हा, एक
सर
मिनिट.
नमस्कार.
हा, बोला.
मी दंतकाळे बोलते सर, सोलापूर DGB दयानंद लॉ कॉलेज. सर सिंगल फॅकल्टी B.Ed कॉलेजेस नसणार आता NEP प्रमाणे. व्हॉट अबाउट लॉ कॉलेजेस सर? हॅलो हॅलो
लॉ कॉलेजेस आणि मेडिकल कॉलेजेस. हॅलो, येतोय आवाज माझा?
हा सर. हा येतो
हॅलो,
सर.
एम आय ऑडिबल?
येस येस सर येस.
हा, लॉ आणि मेडिकल कॉलेज NEPच्या स्कोप मध्ये येत नाही, त्याच्याबद्दल काहीच नाही.
बर ओके, थँक्यू सर, थँक्यू.
हे दोन एरियाज नाही आहेत, त्याच्याबद्दल नवीन ड्राफ्ट येतील.
अच्छा.
हो.
हॅलो सर.
येस, कंटिन्यू, बोला.
पैठणकर सर नमस्कार. प्राचार्य डॉक्टर गोपाळ पवार, स्वामी विवेकानंद B.Ed कॉलेज उदगीर.
नमस्कार सर, बोला.
नमस्कार सर. सर आमच्या कॅम्पसमध्ये नर्सिंग, BCA, BCS, MSc बायोटेक्नॉलॉजी, MSc बायोटेक्नॉलॉजी, BLib, MLib, MA एज्युकेशन असं सिनियर कॉलेजला अटॅच आहे, आणि फार्मसी पण आहे सेपरेट, आणि B.Ed कॉलेज पण सेपरेट आहे. तर ह्यांचं क्लस्टर किंवा इंटिग्रेटेड एकत्र करता येईल का सर?
ह्या सगळ्याचं जे आहे आता क्लस्टर करण्यापेक्षा तुमची मॅनेजमेंट सेम.
मॅनेजमेंट सेम आहे सर.
मॅनेजमेंट सेम असल्यामुळे इंटिग्रेट करणं कधीही सोयीचं जाईल.
हा,
इंटिग्रेट करून घ्यायचं ते.
अच्छा.
मर्ज
म्हणजे आता
करायचं.
2 वर्षाचं B.Ed आहे ते 4 वर्षामध्ये कन्वर्ट करता येईल का आपल्याला तिथं?
सगळं करता येईल, ते करता येईल. पुन्हा मुलांना चॉईस करताना मायनर वेगळ्या कॉलेजेसचे जे आज आहेत ते देता येतील. मायनर सब्जेक्ट उपलब्ध करून देता येतील. फॅकल्टीच्या बाहेर जाऊन तुम्हाला जे पेपर घ्यावे लागतात ते सुद्धा तुम्हाला घेता येतील.
ओके सर, थँक्यू सर.
ओके. येस, अजून काही असतील तर. हॅलो 32 अनिल पालवे, निखिल कोण आहेत, अनम्यूट आहेत. येस, एनी मोर? अजून काही प्रश्न? एनी मोर क्वेश्चन्स? दंतकाळे सर, येस, गो अहेड.
NEP मध्ये येत नाही म्हणून तुम्ही म्हणलं, तर आता LLM सर, लॉ मध्ये पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएशन LLM असते, ते NEP मध्ये येत नाही का मग?
नाही, ह्या NEP-चा स्कोप मध्ये ना लॉच्या बद्दलचे सगळे डिटेल्स जे आहेत ना ते वर्कआउट होऊन यायचे. हा, आणि मेडिकलचे सुद्धा डिटेल्स जे आहेत ते वर्कआउट होऊन यायचे. काही प्रोफेशनल स्वरूपाचे जे कोर्सेस आहेत त्याच्याबद्दल त्यांच्या ज्या अखिल भारतीय स्तरावरच्या प्रोफेशनल असोसिएशन्स आहेत त्यांच्याशी चर्चा करून जनरल एज्युकेशन काउन्सिल त्याच्याबद्दल निर्णय घेणार आहे, अशी NEP मध्ये मान्यता.
हा सर, सध्या काय झालं, LLM ला NEP मध्ये येतो म्हणून आमच्या युनिव्हर्सिटीने म्हणलेलं होता.
त्याच्यामध्ये कसं आहे माहिती का, सध्या आपण ऍफिलिएटेड ह्याच्यामध्ये काम करत असल्यामुळे जे आहे ते मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी एज्युकेशन द्यायचं का नाही ह्याच्याबद्दल अजून काही सांगता येणार नाही, पण त्याच्या सिलेबस प्रमाणे त्याचा सिलेबस करायला सगळीकडे सांगितलेलं.
हा, पैठणकर सर.
हा, बोला.
एक माझा प्रश्न असा आहे की आपण आता हे सर्व डिॲफिलिएशन, क्लस्टर कॉलेज वगैरे इंटिग्रेटेड कॉलेज होणार, परंतु जर आपण इंग्लिश मिडियमचा अनुभव बघितला किंवा खेडोपाडीत निर्माण झालेल्या इंजिनिअरिंग कॉलेजचा अनुभव बघितला तर क्वालिटीच्या संदर्भात नाहीत. तर NEP मध्ये जर सर्वच असं विद्यापीठाच्या बाहेर सर्व स्वतःच विद्यापीठ तयार होत असतील आणि जर असं क्वालिटीचे प्रश्न निर्माण झाले तर त्याच्यावर कंट्रोलिंग युनिट काय आहे का असं वेगळं, की त्याच्यावरती काही पुन्हा त्यांना पनिशमेंट आहे का? कारण एक पिढी जर गेली, एक वर्ष जर गेलं तर अनेक पिढ्या जातात, तर याची काही रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कुणावर फिक्स होणार आहे का? त्याचं काय नेमकं काय आहे तरतूद त्याची?
नाही, आता सर ह्याच्यामध्ये कसं आहे माहिती का, की इंजिनिअरिंगचा अनुभव हा वेगळा आहे. ह्याच्यामध्ये आता एवढं सांगतो मी तुम्हाला की इथे आज आपली जी शैक्षणिक व्यवस्था आहे त्याच्यामध्ये फ्रॅगमेंटेशन, जे विस्तारलं गेलेलं अखंडित असं शिक्षण संस्था झालेल्या आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये काय आहे की एक फॅकल्टीच्या कॉलेजमध्ये 5 लोकांनी शिक्षण उपलब्ध करून देण्यापेक्षा विविध विषयाच्या 25 फॅकल्टी असणारे 2000 विद्यार्थ्यांना शिक्षण देणाऱ्या संस्था ह्या चांगल्या चालतील का अशा छोट्या मोठ्या चालतील? छोट्या मोठ्या संस्थांच्या मर्यादा पण कशा येतात की हायर एज्युकेशनला ज्या सोयी सुविधा उपलब्ध करून द्यायच्या असतात तर त्याचे बजेटरी कन्स्ट्रेंट असतात, त्याच्या आर्थिक समस्या असतात, अशा बऱ्याचशा वर्किंग प्रॉब्लेम्स असतात. त्यामुळे कन्सॉलिडेशन हे जास्त प्रभावी ठरेल आणि त्या कन्सॉलिडेशन जे आहेत त्याच्यात समस्या निर्माण होणार नाही असं माझं म्हणणं नाही. त्याच्या समस्या येतील, पण आजच्या समस्यापेक्षा त्या कमी येतील असा नक्कीच मला विश्वास आहे.
तर दुसरा एक माझा ह्याला लागूनच प्रश्न आहे की जर सर्वच आता आपण हे केलं, हे चांगले आहे, आता तुमचं व्याख्यान खूप चांगलं आहे, ही पॉलिसी चांगली आहे, परंतु काही पातळीवरती एक प्रश्न निर्माण होतो की जर सर्वच प्रायव्हेटायझेशन झालं तर ह्या ग्रामीण भागातल्या किंवा मुलांच्या शिक्षणाच्या संदर्भात काही तरतूद आहे? कारण आता गव्हर्नमेंट सर्वच तुम्ही ऑटोनॉमी व्हा.
सर पुन्हा मी त्याच मुद्द्यावर येतो की हे प्रायव्हेटायझेशन नाहीये. आपल्याला आपल्याकडे ज्या ग्रांटेड जागा आहेत, जे ग्रांटेड कॉलेजेस आहेत ते तसेच ग्रांटेड राहणार, मर्ज जरी झाले तरी. शिक्षकांचे पगार सुद्धा तसेच, जे आपल्याला ग्रांटीन एड मिळते, आपल्याला बँकेत जमा होती बँक ऑफ महाराष्ट्रामध्ये, तसंच ते सुरू राहणार. त्याच्यामध्ये कुठलाही बदल होणार नाही. हा, कदाचित नवीन पद येतील का मला माहित नाही, पण जर आपण बघितलं की ह्याच्याबद्दल बोलणारे आपण राजकीय पक्षांचा विचार केला तर साधारणपणे गेल्या 4 वर्षामध्ये महाराष्ट्राने असा एकही पक्ष नाहीये की ज्याचं सरकार अनुभवलं नाही. बरोबर आहे की नाही? सर्व पक्ष सत्तेत आले, पण तुम्ही मला सांगा कोणीतरी शिक्षकांची बंदी जी आहे ती मागे घेतली का हो? आजही आपल्या राज्यामध्ये 2017च्या एकूण कार्य जेवढा लोड आहे आपला वर्कलोडच्या 40% जागा ह्या आपल्याला भरायची मान्यता आहे. 2017च्या 17 ते 24 म्हणजे जवळपास 7-8 वर्षापासून जे आहे ते ऍज गुड ऍज टीचर्स रिक्रुटमेंट वर बंदी आहे 8 वर्षापासून, आणि सर्व पक्षीय सत्कार हे येऊन गेले. मला म्हणण्याचा असं आहे की शासन हे करेल पण आपलं ग्रांटेड जे स्ट्रक्चर आहे ते तसंच राहील. त्याच्यामध्ये फार काही प्रोग्रेस करेल आणि एकदम 100% येईल माहित नाही. पण आता असं म्हणतात की जिथे ऑटोनॉमी घेणारे जे कॉलेजेस आहेत त्यांना वन टाइम 100% म्हणजे 2017च्या 40%च्या ऐवजी आजपर्यंत त्यांच्याकडे उपलब्ध पद जे रिक्त आहेत ते 100% भरायची परवानगी मिळतीये.
ओके.
हा, म्हणजे अनुदानित आणि विना अनुदानित हा विषयच नाही. जे अनुदानित आहे ते अनुदानित राहतील, जे विना अनुदानित तुम्हाला चालू करायचे ते चालू शकता. म्हणजे आता बायोटेक सारखा विषय आहे आणि तुमच्याकडे फिजिक्स अनुदानित आहे, पण तुम्ही बायोटेक चालू करू शकता ना. म्हणजे ह्याच्यामुळे काय होईल, ह्याच्यामुळे थोडंसं जे आहे ना, आर्थिक परिस्थिती सुद्धा संस्थांची सुधरेल, चांगलं करता येईल, सोयी सुविधा चांगल्या उपलब्ध करून देता येईल, फॅसिलिटीज मुलांना उपलब्ध होईल. अशा गोष्टी ह्या एकीकरणातून, ह्या कन्सॉलिडेशन मधनं जे आहे ना, ह्या साधल्या जाणार आहेत. त्यामुळे ह्याचे नुकसानीपेक्षा फायदे जरा जास्त आहेत आजच्या परिस्थितीपेक्षा, असं माझं मत आहे.
ओके ओके, नाईस लेक्चर. ओके,
थँक्यू.
थँक्यू.
Yes. Anybody? Any one of you?
Hello. Any questions?
Yes, sir. I have one question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sir, my question is, last year at our institute, Dr. Manish Joshi, sir, that he belongs to the UGC. He is the chairperson of UGC. He came to our institute and he stated that in new education. Hello. Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he stated that in NEP 2020, the regional languages are being promoted, and whether if a student, when he writes a paper, either whatever category or whatever subject it belongs to, whether it is the subject of science, commerce, or arts, it doesn't matter. But if he writes it in his regional language, we need to do the assessment in that particular pattern. So I just wanted to know, like, how it is going to implement, because if a student, he belongs to like he's writing the chemistry paper in Marathi or any other regional language. So, like, what is the point of that? I wanted to know, like, the regional languages are being promoted. So what is your idea of it? Like, your opinion on that particular thing?
Okay, yes. Firstly, what Manish Joshi, he happens to be secretary of UGC. What he told is completely correct. But we should take it with certain amendments. Now, look, when the NEP draft speaks of making available education in local language, regional language, this means that the language which is widely spoken in that area. For example, when you are in an institution which is located in Maharashtra state, Marathi will be offered as a regional language. But anyone of the students says that no, Marathi, I am not compatible. But there are certain systemic limitations also. If a person wants to give a paper in Malayalam or in Tamil or in Odia, then there will be systemic limitation. We will not get faculty who will assess this in this language. But the teachers who will be teaching in the state predominantly have the knowledge of the local regional language. And the students who are coming from various walks of life, most of them are from regional language medium school or vernacular, as the Britishers used to call it. So students who got their education in Marathi medium will be more comfortable in taking higher education in Marathi, because it will be very easier for student to have a conceptual clarity that is there for learning the particular discipline. This is one. Second, learning English, which is foreign to most of the students, creates a stress on people, even on the faculty. So language is there for communication. Education is to know, and to make available knowledge in local regional level will help student better perform, better understand the things they have been taught, they want to learn. That's why I too believe that local regional language is promoted. Our students are second to none world over. हमारे जो है वो किसी से नहीं, they excel in whatever walks of life they will be in. We are living in छोटे की students जो है ना, जो idea revolution हमारे के पास जो exposure हमारे students को मिला, they will perform, they will excel, I believe. So, and local language should be promoted, but limitation with certain systemic hindrances will be there. With systemic limitation in Maharashtra, students should need to write their answers in Marathi and English, whatever suits them. And this is practiced. This is practiced in Maharashtra. This is practiced in social sciences. This is practiced in commerce. This is available in not in science yet, but in science and engineering education, this also will be promoted, so that engineering, the standards of engineering will improve, because they will get conceptual clarity. It will be easier for them to understand the abstract concepts of science and engineering very easily in their own mother tongue. This is my take on it. That's it.
Thank you so much, sir.
Any more queries? Participant, if you are having any question, the session is open for a discussion. Resource person is there to address your queries.
Rafe sir, if you allow, I will give my number to.
Yes, in the chat box. In the chat box, you can send.
I will type my phone number and.
Yes. And I
anyone
will also share in
want to
the
have-
WhatsApp group of that course WhatsApp group, sir.
Yeah. I have given my mobile number. Anyone of you want to speak with me, you feel free to call me anytime. You're welcome. And I think there are no questions. I take this opportunity to thank the director of this, what you call it now? This
Malviya
HRD.
Mission Teachers Training Center.
Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Professor Patil sir, a good friend of mine, for giving me this opportunity to speak with you. Also to my dear Rafe sir for giving me this opportunity and helping me out in having access with you, in giving my introduction and congratulating me. I thank you all for giving me a patient hearing. It was a pleasure speaking with you all. Thank you. Have a nice day. I wish you all very best.
Thank you, sir. We are really grateful and thankful to our resource person, Professor Dr. Makarand Paithankar sir, for sparing his valuable time and imparting the knowledge of national education policy to us in a very simple and in a layman language which we have understand a lot. And also thanks him for sharing his mobile number. Any participant, those who feel that he want any query to be solved, he can personally call Makarand sir on his mobile number. So with this, I now declare this session is over, and tomorrow at 2:30, all of us we will join for the next session. Thanks a lot.